Wednesday. Wednesday. Shout out to my man Paulie Detmurds, who's going to be supplying the libations this evening. Man, some wicked glare up in this piece. Hey, it is what it is. You gotta deal with it. Tonight, I'm gonna be drinking Aurora the Warrior. If you follow Paulie's channel, you'll know about this beer. You'll know that he's brewed it a couple of times now, and it is hopped with Aurora and Warrior hops, hence the name. So, I've got some Seattle Love going, the Space Needle Golden IPA glass that I got when I stayed at the Hotel Max in Seattle, pretty much downtown-ish. When I was there, Paulie came and met up with me, and we hung out, and we went to Elysian. I can't remember if we went anywhere else. I think that was pretty much it. He hung out at the hotel for a little bit. We went to Elysian, went back to the hotel. He jumped back on the ferry and went home. It was like a Tuesday night or something stupid. Enough of this yammering. Let's see what this is all about. A little hiss, not a big one, but there's some bubbles rising up. It's a little frosty. Let's get it poured. Lovely color. Looks good. Looks delicious, Paulie. Look at that. That is one big old bottle of beer. Bam. Not the clearest thing, but that's okay. You know me, I love the haze. Speaking of, I got some Maglite. Doing a little sampling. This is drinking stellar. Oh man, so much fruit jumping out of that thing. Peach and papaya and guava and freaking oranges and grapefruits, and it's a veritable smorgasbord, if you will. So, without further ado, let's get into some homebrew. Well, the hops have faded a little bit. I can already smell that little bit of aged hops, but all in all, it smells pretty lovely. This isn't a tulip, so I'm not getting the greatest of sniffers. And the cap on there is not letting a whole lot through. But what I do smell, smells nice. I'm diving in. Cheers, Paulie. Oh, it's right at the cusp of getting a little bit past the, bright hop stage and into the little bit of aged hops, but it's wonderful. I'm getting a nice grapefruit pith off of it. A little bit of bready malt to back it up. It's not overly malty. The hops are definitely the star of the show here. I really like the bittering on this. I'm willing to bet it was bittered with Warrior and then Aurora later. I would look it up because he sent me the details, but I'm using my phone to shoot this, so go freaking figure. The sound back there is the fridge kicking on. I've got two beers. I mentioned before that I would be doing Dropkick Nate and splitting it off into two and doing one half with USO 5, basically traditional style and to the recipe, and then the other one was going to be brewed with fermented with WLP002. So I'm gonna roll some footage here. Brewed last weekend, Saturday, and I'm sorry, was it Saturday? I think it was Sunday. I don't know. The days, they are blending together. So on the brew day, I decided that instead of like trying to shoot a bunch of footage, you guys have all seen me brew it before. You've seen me brew how many times before? except for maybe some of you new kids. Go back into the history and the catalog, you'll see some brew days. But instead of doing that, I figured I'd just kind of update Facebook through the day. So that's what I did. So you can see I got footage through the day, did some still photos. Basically, pretty much hit the numbers. At least I hit the target range of all the numbers on a 10-gallon batch, and it was just stellar. Smelled fantastic. I'm loving the new hop spider. It works awesome. So big shout out to Arbor Fab. Those guys make some great equipment. I mean, the quality on this thing. I'm glad I spent the extra money. Those guys are out of Michigan. Paulie, check it. Really helps keep the gunk out of the chiller. But I'm gonna keep this one short-ish. I did not get into NHC. I did not get registered, so I'm not gonna be putting anything in there. Maybe I'll age some of that so beer for a year and put it in next year, huh? We'll see. Anyway, Brew Day was a success. NHC, not so much. Beer's fermenting nicely. A little story about the 002 that I'm using in that beer. That was shipped to me by Mr. Dan DeSaletz, otherwise known as F It Let's Brew It. And that yeast actually froze in the pouch, and I brought it back to health. And I grew it up, and I blew it up, and I pitched it into the Dropkick Nate. So I've got that, and I also saved some back for a future beer because I love that yeast, and why the heck not? I got a bunch of mason jars now, just for saving yeast, so I'm starting to build up the yeast stores and save some money on the brews that way. So that's what I got. Paulie, this is a fantastic beer. Even though it's got a little bit of age on it, it drinks freaking great. Man, you know how to brew. I'm telling you. So, no brewing this weekend, but I will be kind of monitoring the brews I've got. I do have some ranking to do on some other stuff that's going to have to be done, who knows, Friday, Saturday at some point. Cheers, y'all. Have a great week. Next week, on Wednesday, Elder P will be here, so it's going to be stellar, and we got some great stuff planned. So I'm whacking you around. Great stuff planned, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Cheers. Y'all have a great week. And until then, home brew